Hello, welcome to Module 2 of Personal Finance course. So in Module 2, we are looking at budgeting and cash flow control. So we'll look at the core skills that are required for personal finance stability. So budgeting provides a structured plan for income, spending, saving, and investing, while cash flow control ensures money is available when obligation fell due. So both of them, budgeting and cash flow control, both of them help to prevent shortfalls, reduce reliance on debt, and support long-term goals. Now, by the end of this module, you will be able to design, implement, and review a personal budget and apply cash flow strategies to maintain financial resilience. So, what is even budget? Let's look at it in detail. A budget matches income. Income means money that is coming in, all right, money that is flowing in. So budget matches income to expenses and savings. What it means, income, I said, means money that flows into your hand, while expenses is money that goes out. So what budget does is to match income to expenses and savings, and it will make you accountable for every dollar, every naira, every amount you spend. It is both a planning tool because it will help you to anticipate income and expenses, and budget can also be used as a control tool. How? To monitor spending and adjust behavior. So budgeting is important because it helps to answer key questions like, can I afford this? Am I saving enough? Is my income sufficient for my lifestyle? So budgeting shifts finances from reactive to intentional management. So you can see that budgeting is important. So why is budgeting important, or why budgeting matters? Number one, budgeting reviews spending patterns. When you begin to budget, you see it reviews the patterns of your spending and highlights more frequent expenses that add up. Record income and identify habits to improve financial decisions. So when you record your income and begin to identify your habits, it will help to improve your financial decisions. Budgeting also matters because it prevents overspending. Setting spending limits reduces impulse purchases, and it prioritizes essentials and lowers dependence on credit and loan. So budgeting matters because it will help to set spending limits. Now, budgeting also encourages savings. Treating savings as a planned expense builds emergency funds and supports long-term goals like education, home ownership, and retirement. It will help you to save. All right. So budgeting also helps to reduce stress because knowing what's planned and available for bills and emergencies increases confidence, reduces financial anxiety, and also improves your mental health. Now, there are three methods, budgeting methods we'll look at in this module. We have 50-30-20 rule. What it means is that 50-30-20, if you add it up, it will give you 100%. So 50-30-20. The 50 meaning allocate 50% to needs, then 30% to wants, and 20% to saving or debt. This simple framework will help you to adjust your life to fit your personal goals. 50% again to needs, 30% to wants, and 20% allocated to savings. Then another method is the envelope system, where you use physical envelopes for categories. When an envelope is empty, stop spending in that category until the next cycle. So when you have different envelopes, envelope for this social spending, envelope for that, when you have those envelopes, you will now begin to monitor the envelopes. When an envelope is becoming empty, you stop spending in that particular category. Then another method for budgeting is zero-based budgeting. Now, zero-based budgeting just infer that every dollar has a job. Income minus expenditure is equal to zero. That is what it means, zero-based budgeting. So it requires tracking every expense that you make and reallocating surpluses deliberately. So that is what zero-based budgeting means. So you can choose to any of these. You can decide to use 50-30-20 rule, envelope system, or zero-based budgeting, depending on your choice. All this will help you to plan your financial life. Now, you can use that method to design a personal budget. This is like a task for you. Follow these 5 clear steps. Number 1, list all your take-home income. What are my streams of income? You list them. That is the first step. The second step is track every expenses for a month. Sit down 1 month, take a month, and begin to track your expenses, all your expenses for that month. Okay, you consider whether fixed expenses or variable expenses. Number 3, categorize your spending. What you are spending on, categorize it into needs, wants, and savings. Then number 4, set clear goals and allocate leftover income to saving or debt reduction. Then number 5 is you can use a spreadsheet, an Excel or budgeting app, and compare actual versus planned spending regularly, where you maybe use data, you visualize the data to see or to discover patterns, of your spending. So treat budget as a living document. Treat your budget as a living document, but adjust monthly as circumstances may likely change, because what? Life is unpredictable. Now let's look at what cash flow is. Cash flow is the monthly movement of money into and out of your finances. When money moves into your life or goes out of your life, that is what we refer to as cash flow. All right? So key components are cash inflows. There are 2 major ones: cash inflows and cash outflows. Cash inflows means the money that flows into your life, like salary, business income, side hustles, or investment returns. So all these are cash inflows, money that flows into your life. All right, then what are cash outflows? They can be either fixed or variable. Now they are just generally termed as expenses. Cash outflows means expenses. All right. So then what is a positive cash flow? Cash flow is said to be positive if income exceeds expenses. If the money that is coming in is more than what you are spending, we said you are having a positive cash flow. All right. Then there's what we call negative cash flow. Cash flow is said to be negative if expenses, what you are spending on, exceeds your income. You can see that. Hope we are together. So managing timing, predictability, and prioritization of inflows and outflows is very important to avoid shortfalls and even dependence on credits. Now, how do you control your cash flow? When we say cash flow, whether cash inflow or cash outflow, first, start by tracking. Track regularly. We have been talking about tracking since. Because how will you be in control if you are not tracking? So daily, weekly, or monthly tracking helps spot issues early and keep spending aligned with the budget. Number 2 is prioritize essentials. Fund housing, utilities, and savings first. Treat savings as a non-negotiable expense. Always save. No matter the amount you are receiving that is coming into you, always have a savings. Then number 3 is maintain an emergency buffer. Like I mentioned before, life is unpredictable. So build an emergency fund to handle unexpected expenses even without borrowing. You can put your life that way, plan your financial life that way, where you always have an emergency fund so that even when unexpected issues or expenses come, you can stay without borrowing. Then 4 is automate. Automate your savings and bills. Align due dates with paydays and spread payment to avoid peaks. When you automate it and schedule it, it will help you to be more in control. Now, what are the common tools you can use to do that? We have some monitoring tools like budgeting apps such as Mint, YNAB, or Good Budget. All these are apps. You can find them on Google Play Store. All right. So you can also use bank alerts, spreadsheets, and manual logs as monitoring tool. Then another monitoring tool is automatic categorization and pie chart visualization. When you visualize your data showing the income and that is the inflow and the outflow, it will help to monitor. All right, so you can make use of Excel or other visualization tools. Then there is what we call common cash flow issues. A lot of issues that surrounds cash flow. Spending before essential bills are due is a problem, is an issue. Another issue is over-reliance on credit for routine costs. When you are always thinking of borrowing for what you need on a daily basis, that is already a problem with in your cash flow. Then another thing is failing to track frequent small purchases, all those small buyings, little buying purchases. If you fail to track them, that it will lead you to problem in your cash flow. All right, then lifestyle inflation as income rises. Some persons, as soon as there is a little improvement in their income, they quickly change their habit and begin to change their lifestyle. So that lifestyle inflation is also a problem that can impact greatly on your personal finance. So let's look at spending discipline, lifestyle inflation and review. You see, discipline is important. It turns budget into results. Even if you have a very good budget, if you are not disciplined to track your daily spending, it will affect you negatively. So you need to track your daily spending, cap discretionary categories, cancel unused subscriptions, use cash envelopes for impulse purchases, and institute no spend days. There are days you say, I will not spend. And you begin to guard against lifestyle of inflation by directing raises into savings or debt. And when you begin to see improvement in your income, you now increase your savings. That is better off. All right? Then always review your budget. Review your budget monthly. And when you review, you compare your plan versus your actual. And you reallocate where you consistently overspend and update goals when priorities shift. Regular review is important because it will keep the budget realistic and effective. Now, key takeaways from this module is that don't forget budgeting and cash flow control. Budgeting and cash flow control together enable timely bill payment. It helps you to prepare for emergencies. It helps you to have savings and long-term financial progress. So you have an action step. After this module, you have to sit and create or update your budget. Create a personal budget, or if you have created one before, update it. Choose a budgeting model or a budgeting tool to follow 1 month. Then set up automated savings and schedule monthly. Try to visualize your budget and see whether you are having a positive cash flow or you're having a negative cash flow. Hope you enjoyed the lesson. Thank you.